Okay, so we have a power supply here. It powers this thing and this thing. First off, this thing is measuring current and this thing is measuring voltage. Um, so this thing starts off at let's say that ideally it's 5 volts, which powers the like apply 5 volts to these rails here. I've used this thing to kind of break out the voltage from current. 5 volts goes through here into these rails. The this is an ESP 8266 8366. Now I suddenly forget. Doesn't matter. Whichever one's right. This is it, and it draws 5 volts from the rails. There are also these four SG90 servos that draw power directly from these rails, but their signals come from the pins of the ESP microcontroller. The pins output I think 3.3, maybe 3.5 volts, but according to the spec on the servos, that's fine. You can mix and match the voltage. Like it's powered by 5, but signal is 3.5 or whatever, which is fine in theory. But then if I turn this on, and we got this thing is targeting 5 volts, but you can see that it doesn't quite make it. And if you listen carefully, you can hear the clicking of these motors trying to do something and not managing anything. Now, if I turn up the voltage, you can see that it starts to manage to do stuff. These lights. So the one on the right indicates signal. This one I think is actually tied to the gripper signal channel, but it's controlled by pulse width modulation anyway. So it just looks on all the time anyway. Except that when we've got a motor trying hard to do something, it sure looks like it's browning out or drawing too much power and things aren't working right. So you notice like how while that motor is trying to do the thing, nothing else is happening basically. And since I'm pretty sure that the microcontroller gets no feedback from the motors, I don't think it's like, because you might be tempted to think, well, it's waiting for the motor to do its thing, but I don't think that's how it works. I don't think it actually knows anything about whether the motor's done the thing yet. So I think it's just because the power is getting drained. It's having a hard time keeping up. I've noticed if I turn up the voltage to some degree, things get, like some of these problems go away, but I don't want to turn up the voltage too high, you know? In general, it still behaves kind of weirdly. But like if I were to turn down the voltage, let's say to 5.5, like I've noticed things where like sometimes it seems to like lose the use of one of its axes. Right now it seems to be doing okay. I don't know. Occasionally you see like how it's not. Turn this down a little bit more. Does it? I don't know. See how it's like, it's not behaving right. Plus, you can see these lights flipping off as the power gets drained. And here it's just having not a good time. So if we turn up the power again, say 6 volts. In general, now it's doing okay. But like if it's makes picking anything up really hard. If under certain circumstances, if I try to pick stuff up and it will reset sometimes. No. Alright. Yeah, sure. Let's say that I turn it down to 5 volts. Whoop. I don't know. Kind of seems to be... It's not restarting this time around. But in any case, you can see that it's kind of erratic. And I would prefer to just set this at... Oh, and I guess you can probably see, if you want to rewind, you can see that, like, the voltage... If I set this up at 6 volts, say... This thing, see, now it's up kind of near 6 volts, but if I hold down this, then it drops, like, half a volt, maybe more. Which, anyway. Let's see if I can get multiple motors engaged at once. That usually does it in. You know, at the moment that, there we go. It's like having a hard time. Come on, left. It's like, again, it's having a hard time with that. I don't know. It could be something else that maybe the motor's overheating or something and it's having a hard time with that. Anyway, it's having problems. It'd be cool if it didn't. I'm not sure how to fix it.